I'm on a quest. I want to learn more about electric vehicles. My whole life, I've only driven gas-powered vehicles, and I think I'm ready to find out more information about maybe some more environmentally friendly vehicles. So I reached out to my friend, Yves Madore. He's a zero emissions vehicle expert here at Natural Resources Canada, and he's helping me to better understand low emission vehicles, like zero emission vehicles or electric vehicles as a whole. So, and actually in the last episode, he gave us a good overview of these types of vehicles. We actually went to a facility where we were able to test drive an EV. We were able to look under the hood. We even put one up on a hoist to look underneath the vehicle to see what that looks like. So if you're interested in that episode, what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave one of those info card things on YouTube, or we'll put the link in the description. So anyways, it should come up on your top right, but anyways, the links are somewhere. What we're gonna do today though, is we're gonna talk about charging. So an electric vehicle, how do you charge it? What are your options? How fast does it charge? Is it safe? So that's what we're gonna talk about today. So you know what? Let's go see what Yves up to.
Joel, good to see you.
Likewise, how are you, man?
Very well, thanks. You?
Good, good. So you invited me over to your place to check out your setup?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let me just grab a jacket.
Awesome, meet me out here.
Okay, give me a second.
So this is your famous setup, huh?
Yeah, so this is my Flow X5 level 2 smart charger.
Level 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we dive in, what's the difference between the various levels?
Okay, level 1, think about it, it's just like a regular standard wall outlet, 110 volts, about 8 kilometers per hour. So charge for an hour will give you about 8 kilometers. This is a level 2. This is on a 50 amp breaker. It's 220 volts. So this is kind of like your dryer plug or your stove, the plug for your stove. It will give you anywhere between 30 to 50 kilometers per hour, 30 to 50 kilometers of electric only autonomy per hour. And then there's level 3. Those are the DC direct current fast chargers. Those can give you over 100 kilometers per hour of charging, and some manufacturers are claiming, you know, an 80% charge in 30 minutes or so a lot quicker charge.
So those are the ones that you would find at a charging station, like a commercial charging station, right?
On highways, that's where you want
yeah.
that rapid charging, yeah.
Not necessarily at home.
Not necessarily for home unless you have very exigeant.
very high standards. Very low patience.
Big requirements for your vehicles. Yeah.
Okay, so fair enough. So what comes with the vehicles? Level 1, level 2?
Yeah, so mine came with a level 1 charger. It's in the trunk. We keep it there in case we need it somewhere. But yeah, it's just for a standard wall plug, and it goes right into the vehicle. It was done by the manufacturer, so yeah.
And this, okay, so you got yourself a level 2.
Yeah.
So explain to me what this is. I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah.
So
this is the Flow X5. It's the green light there is telling me my car is fully charged. So I could unplug it right now. So this one is like, I don't have a garage, so it's built for the elements. It's made to withstand extreme heat and extreme cold like we have here in Canada. And it's a smart charger, so it's connected to my Wi-Fi, and it sends me reports about, you know, the amount of electricity that I consume to charge my vehicle. When my vehicle is fully charged, I can set time. So if you live somewhere where you have peak or off-peak demand, you can say, okay, well, only charge my vehicle during off-peak to save on electricity costs.
Do you know, like on your app, if your car is fully charged?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Good.
So as soon as a car is plugged with this, I get a notification, and as soon as the vehicle is completed its charging, I get another notification.
That's awesome, because like that way you don't have to send your kids out to be like, hey, is daddy's car ready yet?
Check if the car's ready, yeah.
That's awesome. It's great in -40 weather.
I can still do that. But
That's right, just for fun, but you
Just for fun.
know the answer. That's awesome. Okay, so this is a pretty significant upgrade from your level 1. I see the size of this cable is impressive. You have to connect to your a circuit breaker to your electrical box. It seems like a pretty big setup. How much of an investment is that?
So that's a great question. Obviously, it'll depend on where your installation is, how close you are. Do you have already access to 220 volts? Like a lot of garages already have that. I would say if you're starting from scratch, plan for the hardware and the cost of an electrician to install it, between $500 and $1,000, depending on what you choose for hardware, the brand. This one was built in Canada, so I felt comfortable about buying it, from a social perspective. But yeah, anywhere between 500 and 1,000, and you're okay.
That's actually pretty reasonable. I kind of expected it to be more, just the fact that you have to, well, there's the unit itself and just, making an entry point into the house.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so how does it work? Because I don't see any buttons or anything on this thing.
No buttons on it. All there is normally the charger sits in this receptacle here. The cord kind of loops around, and when you're ready, you take it out, plug it into the car, and when you're done, you put it back. That's it. No buttons, no nothing.
Plug and play.
Plug and play.
Pretty simple. Okay, do you want to show me how to plug it in?
Let's do it.
Okay. So that's the famous hair dryer, huh?
This is my hair dryer. So this is a SAE J1772.
Okay, that's a lot of letters there.
So SAE is Society of Automobile Engineers. If you bought an EV, this is your level 1 and your level 2 connector.
Oh, okay, so they're standard across the board.
Standard across the board. Unless you have a Tesla, then they have their own charger, but they do come with an adapter so that you can use one of these to charge your Tesla with. Level 1 and level 2 will plug on this. If you have a level 3 vehicle, you'll have another port next to it with another plugger. So you know you're plugging the right plug into the right receptacle because it only fits in the right one.
Fair enough. And your car specifically doesn't accommodate for a level 3, or?
No, exactly. So for a lot of plug-in hybrids with a smaller battery, you don't have the level 3 option. Some of them do, but it's a smaller battery. On level 2, 2.5 hours, not a big deal to fully charge it, so level 3 isn't really important. It's plugged in because it flashes, and it'll tell you how much you need to recharge based on how depleted your battery is.
Okay, so if I remember this correctly from our previous episode, you have, 4/4 of the blue, and then if it's totally filled in, paying attention.
Yeah, so every manufacturer has its own way of telling you that you're plugged in and you're actually charging, so it gives you that peace of mind. Okay. But this one here is those lights.
Okay. I mean, this is a pretty simple setup, and this is like for a level 2, right? How different is your level 1?
Yeah, do you want to see it? It's just in the trunk.
Sure. Okay, let's get it.
So for my level 1 charger,
right, level 1,
this stays in the trunk.
Okay.
You'll notice same plug as the level 2.
Yeah.
Much smaller diameter cable though, and this is just kind of like your standard wall outlet.
Looks pretty simple.
Yeah, very simple. Once you're plugged into the wall and you have power, this will plug in, this will light up, and then once the vehicle is receiving the electricity, that lights up as well. And so yeah, it's super simple.
So same as the level 2, you just plug it in the wall, plug it in the car, that's it, no buttons, no nothing?
No buttons, no nothing, it's that easy, that simple, yeah.
Okay, so is there anything at home that we need to talk about? Or have we covered everything pretty much for like home setup?
Yeah, for the home setup, I think we've covered everything. There's the app that comes with these cars that allows you to set a time so that the inside of the vehicle is warm, so that you're not using the range, using the grid's electricity instead of the range in the battery. That's an important factor, and a factor that really sells these vehicles. You don't have to worry about going outside and starting your car or idling your car for a very long time. It does it all, and it does it all with zero emissions. So
that's amazing. So yeah, you're right. You can actually heat it up before, so it's nice and ready when you get in.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a big selling point.
It's a huge, your windows are defrosted even when I don't have a garage. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so this is a really nice setup for a home. I mean, you have a home in the burbs-ish. You have a nice driveway, so you have room for this. But what about people that live in like high-rise buildings? Do they have options to charge their cars?
Great question. Yeah, it's estimated that a third of Canadians live in multi-unit residential buildings or are what are called in the EV world garage orphans, so no driveway, no garage to install a charger. So there exist on-street options like lamppost charging. So
really?
taking the electricity that's in the lamppost and using that to charge your EV. And there's a lot of public stations around as well, so you can always refer to Natural Resources Canada's online alternative fuels map and find charging stations in your area that you can always go and charge your vehicle at.
A lot of those stations, especially commercial charging stations, are they just mostly level 3s, or like what about people like you who have a level 2 charging port? Can they still use those?
Yeah,
those
so you'll find like in town it's mostly level 2. Like if you go to a public parking garage, it's mostly level 2 that you'll find. On major corridors, then you'll see the level 3 because people are in transit, they want to get their coffee, use the facilities, and then get back on the road, so they want that rapid charge.
For those of us who are kind of curious to see, like, they'd want to compare how much it would cost to charge their cars from home in this manner versus like their current or just plainly a internal combustion engine vehicle.
Yeah.
Like gas versus electricity. Are there tools available for us to be able to do that?
Absolutely. Again, Natural Resources Canada, they have the fuel consumption ratings search tool.
Okay.
So you can easily compare if you're shopping for a car. You can easily compare, the gas version against the electrical version to see how much you would, what your operating expenses would be, which I definitely recommend anyone who's shopping for a vehicle do, trying to know, okay, what is the use of their current vehicle, how much do they spend on gasoline right now, and then trying to project that by using the tool, you can project that using electricity costs.
Speaking of like cost and all these decisions, I actually have a friend from work who I know for a fact is looking to buy a new vehicle. I'm thinking of trying to steer her into the direction of like a zero-emission vehicle or maybe a hybrid. Would you like to meet my friend Lisa and see if you can go through, some of the stuff that she needs to consider if she wants
Joel, I love talking about cars, so absolutely I will talk about cars with Lisa.
Awesome.
There are so many options available right now on the market for electric vehicles. There's one that will meet her demands without a doubt, so I think that's a great idea.
Awesome. You know what? I'm gonna go set that up for you right away.
Cool.
So it's a little cold. I'm gonna head out, but thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
I always love talking to you, man.
Thank you, Joel. Likewise.
Take care.
See you later.
So this was really fun. I always love chatting with Yves. He's such a nice guy. He knows so much about cars and zero-emission vehicles in particular. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe, do the normal YouTube things, comment below. Also, in the next episode, we're going to be connecting Yves with our friend Lisa. And Lisa's looking to probably buy a new vehicle, maybe a zero-emission vehicle. So Lisa and Yves are going to go through all the steps that you need to take and all the information that you need to know when shopping for a zero-emission vehicle. Also, all those resources that Yves mentioned before, those links are available in the description of the episode below. So that's it for us today. We'll see you in the next episode.